Again, thank you everyone for joining us. My name is Marlena White. I'm the president of the Friends of South Carolina Libraries. I do appreciate y'all taking some time this afternoon to join us for our inaugural virtual visit with Friends. So this forum was open to any library friends in South Carolina, or really any state, who's interested in talking about what you've got going on in your library with your friends group, any concerns, challenges, or successes. The specific topic for today is creative library support in a COVID-19 world. We probably would like to go ahead and keep the conversation geared toward that general topic, but we are certainly not going to yell at you or kick you out of the room if you decide to, the conversation moves organically to other topics. So again, thank you for allowing us to record so we can use this for internal purposes to correct any mistakes that we make today, and also for those who couldn't join us. We've got two members of the Friends of South Carolina Libraries Board with us today. So Maurice and Kitty, I'd like you to go ahead and say hello real fast, if you can give a wave so everybody can see who you are.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Over the last couple of months, a lot of us have gotten really familiar with Zoom and how to use this, but I'll just throw out a couple quick etiquette rules. If there is any background noise, I'd ask you to go ahead and mute yourself. You are welcome to turn your microphone or your camera on and off at your comfort level. If you need to step away, or if you have any other things that you need to take care of, or you just don't want to be on camera for a minute, you're welcome to turn your camera or microphone off. Please go ahead and in the chat, put your name, where you're from, what library you're representing, and your role. And with a small group here, we're going to go ahead and just be comfortable to speak comfortably. So if there was a larger group, we would go ahead and do a raising of the hand feature, but with this size group, fairly comfortable with just going ahead and speaking comfortably. All right. So creative library support in a COVID-19 world. It's a pretty broad topic, but with this number of people in the chat, I'd like to go ahead and, if we can, go from person to person. I know we do have the chat, but I'd like it to hear everybody, and maybe we could say hello real fast. So I represent the Friends of the Lexington Main Library in Lexington, South Carolina. I'm actually a part-time employee for that group, and I've held that position for 15 years. And then I volunteer for the Friends of South Carolina Libraries. So I'm going to go ahead and move around the board. You're welcome to say hello. Kitty?
I'm Kitty Spires. I am president of the Friends of South Congaree Pine Ridge Library, which is actually in West Columbia. Our mailing address is West Columbia. We are in Lexington County, and I am serving also with Marlena on the state board of the Friends.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Donna?
Hi, I'm Donna Lawless. I am a library development consultant at the South Carolina State Library. I work with the Boston group, and I work with all the Friends groups throughout the state, and I like to do Friends training as much as possible.
And we certainly appreciate that. Deborah?
Hi, I'm Deborah Phillips. I am Vice President of the Friends of the Waccamaw Library in Pawleys Island, South Carolina.
Welcome. It's great to see you today.
Thank you.
Maurice?
I'm Maurice Cherry. I'm the Secretary of the Friends of the Library, State Friends of the Library. I'm a former member of the Greenville County Friends of the Library and was president of that group for 3 years.
Thank you, Maurice. Joetta?
Can you hear me?
We can.
I'm Joetta Tuning. I'm serving as the president of the Friends of the Florence County Library and that's the big one downtown in Florence.
Thank you so much, Joetta. Well, we were certainly very appreciative to partner with the Florence County Library for the Friends of South Carolina Libraries annual meeting back in 2019.
We enjoyed having y'all there.
Remember when we could have things in person? Remember those days? Y'all remember hugs? Yeah, there's that. And we've got Annie's iPad. Is this Annie?
It's Ann Jameson. I'm from Indian Land. I am the communications chair for the Friends of the Del Webb Library in Indian Land.
Well, we're very glad to have you. And will recognize our partnership at a regional meeting that we had at the Del Webb Library a few years ago. It was
Yes, yeah,
very well attended.
yeah. We have an active group a small active group. We wish it was larger, but we're working on it.
Well, Anne, I think we're going to have t-shirts made up with that logo. We're a small active group. We wish we were larger. I might get a tattoo of that. That's a good one. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. It's great to see and hear everyone. And again, I'm going to go ahead and open up the floor. So creative library support in a COVID-19 world. The role of the Friends for libraries has changed. And I don't know that we even know exactly what that role quite is. And that might be because of the fact that the library might not quite know what our role is. Having volunteers come in and out of the library, holding book sales, holding in-person author events, all of these things are just kind of in a limbo state. So does anyone want to share what the current situation is in their library with their friends? Are their friends allowed in the building? Are their friends holding any kind of events at the library or any kind of staff support?
I can share. Our library is in Georgetown County. All of Georgetown County is doing a phased opening, and right now customers can come in for 30 minutes for browsing in the stacks, using computers. We have a bookshop. The Friends has a bookshop in the front of the library that is closed at this time, but we have opened in July an online shop, and we're currently trying to promote that. And we staff it with a small number of volunteers that process the donated books and get them online and fill the orders.
That's fantastic. Are your books held at the branch? Have you been able to get access to them?
Yes, so the small number of volunteers has access.
Wonderful.
I guess our biggest deal right now is trying to come up with promotions to, get the word out about the online shop.
That is always a challenge.
I can say that in Florence, the board is still meeting on Zoom, and our primary function has just been to maintain, and we just bought a bookmobile at the library, paid for the bookmobile. The county will maintain it, but they would not buy it. So the library's gotten a lot of grants, and the Friends produced money for the bookmobile, but we're just hanging in basically, and the library is not open yet, of course.
Joetta, is Florence doing curbside pickup, or you can pick up in the lobby?
They were picking up in the lobby the last time I talked to Aubrey. They're doing the phased opening, and I imagine most libraries are doing pretty much the same thing around the state. Most of the furniture had been taken out so that when people do come in, they don't come in and hang out. They come in and leave. So I don't think they're in there for long, like you said, for a few minutes. Yeah.
I think that's pretty much what's happening in Greenville too, with 9 branches. They have been phasing in the smaller branches, and so I think now things are open to some extent, but it's not open full scale. And they're trying to do a very good drive in terms of getting people to renew their library memberships, not the fossil, not the Friends, but the actual library memberships, because they've changed the format of that. So they're encouraging people to come by and make sure that they have everything up to date. So that they do want people to come into the libraries to do that as well, rather than to drive by or do it any other way.
And I bet that's a really good time for this, because we are seeing, most libraries are seeing some sort of phased interaction. And unfortunately, if there were to be some sort of shutdown again, it would be nice for as many people as possible to come in now to have those library cards updated in case we see libraries having to close again. So we've got two new members joining us here. We've got Tina and Janet who have joined us. Tina, if you wanted to go ahead and unmute yourself and say hello to everybody and let us know what library you represent and your role in that library.
Hi, my name's Tina Fiore, and I am the secretary for the Friends Group at the South Congaree Pine Ridge Library.
Well, hello, how are you?
I am good, thank you.
Good, thank you for joining us. And Janet, you want to go ahead and say hello and let us know what library you represent and the role that you play in that library.
Actually, I had myself on mute here. Anderson, I'm on the board, past chair, and this is my first time trying to figure out how to do this. So
We are glad to be your guinea pig.
okay.
Glad. Thank you for joining us. You're being adventurous along with us because this is our very first virtual visit with friends.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to future.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Well, thank you both for joining us. We do appreciate it. And again, the topic of conversation for today was creative library support in a COVID-19 world. And the reason we need to get so creative is many of us are used to having open door privileges at our library, being able to come and go, at least a select number of friends, certainly, that deal with the book sales. And I know at the Lexington Main Library and all the libraries in Lexington County Library System, Tina and Kitty and I, our libraries, both of our libraries are in the Lexington County Public Library System. Volunteers have not had access to the building, so it's been interesting. Does anyone else have any examples of how their friends group or anything that they have heard of about how friends have been able to continue to be creatively supportive of their library? I know some of the virtual programming that the libraries have done have required new technology that they may not have had. Any friends groups been able to be financially supportive in that aspect? And you know, it could have been, there could be a lot of reluctance on behalf of the libraries to request funding right now. A lot of our revenue sources have been depleted or have gone away entirely, especially with the book sales. You know, the Friends of Lexington, Maine hold an annual staff lunch to honor the staff and recognize them and thank them for all the hard work that they do. And there has been some discussion about whether or not we'll hold that this year because it's a rather expensive endeavor. And without a lot of income coming in, does anyone have any thoughts about holding back some of those fun recognizing events? I'm wondering if the cost is worth the value and, you know, in order to keep up morale.
I know that in Anderson, we just had a virtual meeting, and we're pushing for more employee response to do more for them. They're taking over our book sales, and to some degree, they've been holding a outdoor sale and had made pretty good money at it. Many of our volunteers are elderly, so they've not wanted to come to work with folks. So the staff has taken over some of our sale, and it's been very good.
What a creative way to reverse the roles.
Yes. Of course, we're very good to them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but we also have a coffee shop, and that's been closed. But the staff has been purchasing things there, honor system, dropping money in. The coffee shop is we've really enjoyed having that.
Who mans the coffee shop, Janet?
Volunteers.
Volunteers.
Yeah. We have a steady supply of volunteers, both in the bookstore, coffee shop is across the hall.
Wow, that's fantastic. So how have you approached your library about getting a list of those requests? Just contacting the branch librarian or?
Yeah, Safe Line is our library.
So Janet, it's a little hard to hear you. It sounds like the microphone is pulled away a little bit. Oh, there we go.
Faith Line is our county librarian, and she's awesome. Very supportive of us. We have, I don't remember how many volunteers we had. We had at least 50 prior to COVID. Now we've got 5 people working we have a book storage room down in the basement. Our library has been awesome. We have a storage room, we have a coffee shop, and we have a bookstore. The bookstore is the only thing that still makes a little bit of money now because of the employees who are working. You know, every once in a while they'll pull some books out and sell them for us.
So they have that as a table outside?
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's interesting. That's the first, I think Charleston's been holding outdoor book sales. Donna, hasn't Charleston been? I think Charleston held a really big outdoor book, not as big as what they normally do.
Yeah.
But that's interesting that the staff is stepping up. That's a fantastic relationship.
And they pulled, actually during the beginning of COVID, they actually pulled out books outside the door. Are you there? Let's see. Oh,
We are.
Outside the door, they had 3 book carts that we just gave books away.
Right.
That's fantastic. Kitty, Lexington County Libraries, we did some of the same. South Congaree had a cart outside where.
Yeah, we've done that. Actually, it's been out the entire time since they closed, you know, to patrons. So yeah. At some point, I would like for Deborah to tell us a little more about her online store. So when you get the chance for that, we can transition to. Is it a virtual book sale? How are they doing that? So
we have in the store, the bookshop, in the library, we use a Square for our purchases, and have been able to, through the Square, set up a website.
okay.
And I promote that on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
And we're planning now to have some promotional contest to promote it more. We do also have a space in a local bookshop where they allow us to sell dollar hardback books and 50-cent paperbacks. And we donate a lot of books to Habitat and other organizations.
Okay. Thank you.
How do you deliver the book that you sell virtually?
Well, because our library is open to customers 30 minutes at the time, they come into the library, and we have a room just to the left of the front door where this limited number of volunteers mans from 10 to 2 Monday through Friday, and we give out the books there.
Okay. So they order it online, it's sitting there waiting for them.
Yes.
Excellent, excellent.
What a great way to avoid shipping.
Yeah. If you want to check it out, it's the friendscenter.square.site.
Okay. Thank you. Good idea.
Thank you.
This is Ann Jameson again from Indian Land. I can't-
Hello?
Hi, did we lose?
Ann, I'm sorry about that. I was on mute.
Oh.
Ann, can
Oh,
you hear us okay?
Yeah, it sounds like
I
me.
thought we'd lost connection.
I can hear Ann, but I couldn't hear Marlena. That's
So there's a funny,
Yeah, I thought, where'd everybody go?
there's a really funny meme going around that says the official quote of 2020 is "You're on mute."
Yeah.
That's the official quote of 2020 is that you're on mute. I was just talking away to y'all.
Yeah, I know. I kept seeing you and I sent you a text.
Oh, Deborah, thank you.
Hmm.
I was just talking. And we could hear you a second there. I was
Yeah.
wanting to see if you had something that you wanted to add, or you were just coming back into the conversation there.
No, I was just going to add, Indian Land, Lancaster County, we kind of got hit by a double whammy because we also have renovations going on and they're building a new library in Lancaster. So long story short, our library has been closed because of construction inside and out. They decided to do the inside first since we had COVID, thinking it might just be a couple of months. So they're continuing to work on the library. So we do not have access to our used book room. We don't have access to our cubbies and keys. So what we're doing is we're just trying to communicate, through our constant contact and our website, kind of this "we're still here" thing. And we basically said, our meetings, everything that we would use the library building for, we'll keep them apprised of what happens based on when the library can reopen and the COVID procedures at that time. But one of the things that we found in our different neighborhood communities around the library is people are cleaning out their garages and their houses, and we think we have a good opportunity to get some good book donations. So we're looking at, maybe outside book donations at somewhere other than the library parking lot because, we can't use that because of construction issues. So our big thing now is maybe we can get some really good book donations and store them in our storage unit until we can have book sales. Because we're really cut off from everything else except our online. We're still getting some memberships in. But as far as activities, we thought, well, if we had, like a couple of trucks, this is what we're kind of thinking for cooler weather. People have cleaned out their garages and can be a little more discerning. We want clean books. We want them published after a certain date and that kind of thing. And then we can always sell Friends of the Library memberships when they drop off their books. So like I said, we have no building to enter because our building's being renovated, redone.
Oh, wow.
I was just going to add that I've never heard so many people talk about giving away books as I have recently since the virus started, that so many people are saying, well, I had time, as you said, to go through the garage, to go through the attic, to start downsizing, and they have been putting this off for such a long time in many cases, especially people my age. And
Yeah.
So now they're finding that they have so many more books than they realized, and they're looking for places to give them away and are asking questions. What do I do with books? So I'm always trying to tell them what to do. So.
Having an outside collection, maybe, are you thinking about doing a specific day and time? Or just having like an outside bin?
I don't hear Marlena. Does everybody else hear Marlena?
Marlena, something's going on with your.
Yeah.
Can y'all hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Not well, but we can hear you. Yeah.
Yes,
All right, how about that?
barely.
You're at a distance.
I apologize for that. Well, I'm going to go ahead and perhaps mess with my computer a little bit here. And I was just wondering if you were going to do a specific collection day and time for the donations.
Yeah, that's where we're just kind of brainstorming. I mean, We actually had a couple of our, a few of our committee members. It's hard to have a meeting sitting around in mask, but we did do some things so that we could get like a constant contact out to say, you know, these things are on hold. We know, blah blah blah. But then, so we thought, well, again, that cooler weather would be good because we're having, you know, monstrously hot weather now. So we were thinking, you know, National Friends of the Libraries Week is the 18th through the 24th. And we thought that might be a crackerjack week to have a couple of trucks in a neighborhood parking lot, you know, large parking lot, and accept, like I said, qualified book donations. But we're gonna try to publicize ahead of time what we will and won't take, because we don't have room for everything in the world now. And, you know, people have a lot of books that they've had in their library, in their garage for 10 years, and we just can't use those, you know. But that was our main goal, was that Friends of the Libraries Week.
That's a fantastic idea to hold something.
Can't hear you, Marlena.
Yeah.
I think it's a fantastic idea to try to correspond it with National Friends of the Library Week.
Yeah.
Yes, we every year our branch celebrates the birthday of the first day that the branch opened, and I think we're at 12 or 13 years now, Tina. I can't remember exactly, but we had this big celebration planned. Kids, the children were going to be able to dress up in costume and have fairy tale stories read to them and act out different things and decorate birthday cake and all this kind of stuff. Well, naturally, that did not happen. And our group decided we still want to do something. So we ended up having a drive-through birthday party. And folks came with their cars decorated with balloons and signs and everything. And we made little birthday gift bags. I think that cost us probably less than $1 for each one of the bags. But it really turned out to be a good success. It wasn't a great success because it was like 100 degrees that day in July. But it turned out to be an activity that you would not have imagined would get the excitement from the children that attended. So I think not being able to do summer reading and have our big kickoff party, we hoped that would be the substitute for that. And I think it was, because the gift bags that we had remaining from the birthday party, the librarian was able to put them in the gift bags that the children from summer reading were able to, when they were able to complete their summer reading hours and books, they got a double gift at the end of it. So it's just hard to know what one little thing you do might truly affect the excitement of a child. So even though we didn't get to have the big dress up party, we had a drive-through. And I wanted to say a drive-by, but I didn't think that would be appropriate, Marlena. So we changed the name to a drive-through. But we sent out little invitations and different things like that as a reminder to folks. I agree with everybody. This is just a difficult time to be creative, but the more we're able to have conversation and put our minds together on things, it can benefit all of us. So as a member of the Fossil Board, I thank you all for trying to help us become more creative today. Thank you.
One of the things that's been hard, I know, in terms of getting memberships in local friends organizations, this is, you know, we're getting close to 6 months now where we're dealing with this issue, and some of you have more direct contact with, the numbers of friends and so forth. And I know in Greenville it's tied in very heavily, as it is in some other places. You've already mentioned that, to book sales. I mean, that's the thing. We have our opening day and special deals that are for people who are members only. And so that really is where we get so much of our membership, is people wanting to go to the major sales during the years. There are sales every 2 weeks, but the big ones that happen at the quarter of each year. And so that's having, you know, some impact right there because of the limitation of sales. And the other thing is there's so many events, as there are in your libraries, public events, you know, meeting rooms, auditoriums, things of that type. And that's such a big part of the Greenville system. And we have brochures and things out at each of those meetings, but we aren't able to hold meetings. The library is not allowing group meetings yet. So we're missing having people pass through the corridor, seeing the brochures, and also in terms of the kinds of book displays you were talking about, where you have the $1.50 things outside of our friend's store in the library. They're missing that because they're not going to the various programs that are offered by so many groups. So that's hurting for sure.
Well, thank you for me, Maurice. I appreciate that. What's the status of my audio now? Anybody can hear me?
Yes.
It's very low,
Yeah.
Marlena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I apologize. I'm going to go ahead and speak up just a little bit. How about now? Is it a little bit louder?
Yes.
Better.
Yes.
So our library had to suspend book clubs. We weren't able to have in-person book clubs, and the Friends organization wanted to try to supplement that. So we started a program called Between Friends Book Discussion, and it's our version of a book club. It's certainly not to take the place of the book clubs that the library has. We hope that they will be able to get those back up and running soon, but it's a virtual only event. We're holding our meetings via Zoom like many other Friends groups are. We miss the face-to-face interaction, but we also sort of enjoy the convenience of just being able to pop into the meeting and then pop back out and not have to drive. I don't know, going forward, we may keep some of our meetings via Zoom, but the Between Friends is open to friends only. It's a Friends member service. We're not really able to offer a lot of value benefit to our members right now. There is no shopping early at the book sale. We have a small gift shop inside our library, so there's no 10% off the gift shop that we would normally offer our members. So this was just a small way we could, you know, offer them some sort of benefit for being a member. So we held our first one about 2 weeks ago. It was a lot of fun. We had 5 people on the first one, and we had 9 people on the second one. We're limiting them to 10 people so we can have a really good open discussion. We read The Revisioners by Margaret Wilkerson Sexton, and then the next one we're going to do at the end of this month is Talking to Strangers by Malcolm Gladwell. So that's something that it's brand new during COVID-19. I'm hoping it will, you know, again, it's not a substitute for an actual book club. I don't think there much is, but it's just a small way we're trying to keep the conversation going with our members, keep our members engaged, and hopefully give them a reason to renew when their membership comes due.
I had a question. I wondered if any of the Friends groups are doing special things for the library staff members in their branches or in their main libraries. I know that that's been one of the missions of our Friends group in Greenville over the years, is to have at least you have one board member assigned to each branch. And we've done things like, you know, take cookies occasionally for the staff members or do other things of that type. And I don't know, I'm not on the local board anymore, so I don't know. I just wonder if, you know, as you said, so many of the volunteers, so many of our board members are older and they're resistant to taking chances, which is understandable. They should be. And but I just wonder if people are trying to show some kind of personal support to library staff members. I also, and Donna would probably know, I don't know statewide what kind of impact there's been in terms of reduction of staffing at various libraries, if that's been a major problem up to this point or not. I know in so many areas it is, but I don't know if libraries have had to cut down on their staff, and if people are trying to show support for libraries. We talk about helping the nurses, the doctors, police people and so forth. And, you know, these are, to us, they're almost first responders when you talk about a good librarian, right? So some of you are good librarians, so you're first responders. But I just wonder if Friends groups are doing anything in particular for their staff members right now. Anything unusual, I should say.
Maurice, Florence has we offered early on to help with the gloves or the mask or any kind of equipment they needed, but they had that covered. The county had them taken care of. We did give them lunch on their first week back. They were coming in every other day, so we did it for 2 days. And I was really wanting to hear from y'all some good ways to you know, help them and support them on a personal level. And food's about the best way, but it is expensive. A meal for the entire staff, we've got a very large staff, and even it would be daunting to take cookies in to everybody. So I was just really interested in, other than food, what is there to do?
Some of you are librarians. What would you like for people to do for you?
I mean, right now it really is difficult because of not being able to get in and interact with everyone. One of the things that we've been doing, and this is a standard practice for us, but we always acknowledge for our specific branch these staff birthdays, and some I think most of those birthdays have fallen during COVID. So I actually mailed cards and sent small gifts in the mail to those staff members. But, you know, just an attaboy, you know, we're thinking about you. We wish we could be there to help you. Goes a long way, like you said, just being acknowledged. But I think the challenge of not being able to get into the branch or the building, wherever you are, presents us with some, you know, it's just a real conundrum because you can't figure out what's an easy thing to do, because there really isn't an easy thing to do at this point. I actually just got an email from our system director that they are opening 3 of the larger branches with some limitations, but I thought that was real interesting, Marlene, as we're sitting here having this conversation, that we get that email. Because having been on the county board before being on the local Friends board, those are hard decisions to make. So every little bit helps get the momentum going, and you know, you start small and build to those openings. But being that support group for the library makes it just makes it a collegial group. I mean, I just pick up the phone and call and say, hope everything's going okay today. What do you need? And we just want to see faces. We just want to see faces. And I think everybody is in that same boat there. But being creative is not an easy thing right now.
Yeah, I was thinking about your idea about how you went and did, you know, kind of a drive-by birthday party. But if the Friends of Lexington, Maine have a social media account, if any of your other Friends groups have a social media account, I wonder if organizing a group photo with your branch librarian for as many staff members as you can get in the photo as a, you know, just to get their faces out there. You know, the librarians miss you as much as we miss them. We can't wait to see it. Also, here's what they still look like. That might just be a great PR. You know, it's pretty inexpensive. You'd have to coordinate that with your branch librarian, and I'm sure socially distance. and
Right.
all of that. But just standing outside the building, that might be an idea. And then as we start to open back up, perhaps small, I mean, we wouldn't have to spend much money, but small care packages per staff member.
Right.
Just a little hand sanitizer, little, you know, little care package, maybe candy
Right.
goes over really well at the Lexington Main Library.
Yeah.
I don't know about you
Yeah.
guys.
Our group loves chocolate.
Put some chocolate in there. And
Yeah, when you take them some chocolate, they're in heaven. So yeah.
And that would be fairly inexpensive depending on the number of staff members that you have. Joetta, you were saying you have a good number of staff members though. So that might be kind of a daunting task.
Yeah, we have a lot of staff members, but y'all are coming up with some good ideas. Keep going.
Can I just say something?
Of course, Donna.
State Library does, you know, we don't have a friends group, but the appreciation acknowledgement goes a long way. Our administration periodically, since COVID started, has sent us notes of appreciation. You know, thank you for your hard work. We really appreciate your hard work, what you're doing for the agency. Lisa has sent all of us greeting cards, you know, and if I can do anything for you, let me know. Thank you. We support your work. That goes a long way. And recently, last week, one of the administrators sent, I mean, I received in the mail a package of hand cream and body soap. So, you know, I have to say, in my career, it's the first time I've ever, as an employee, been acknowledged like this. So,
wow,
friends groups to do that for the library staff, if you can do, even if you could send out an email, if you can't afford any of that, an email with thank you for your support. You know, I mean, thank you for your work. We support you. And what the administrators of state library say to us at the end, if there's anything I can do for you, please let me know. I mean, I just want to say that, my 2 cents.
Yeah, thank you. You're muted again, Marlena.
I'm sorry, I was just typing something. I didn't have anything to add
okay.
that particular minute. I was typing a quick comment into the chat.
Okay.
Well, these are some great ideas. I do appreciate everybody sharing. And does anybody else have anything that they would want to add or any other thoughts? I'm going to put a little chat down here. This is fantastic. And Deborah, thank you so much for sharing that website. I just went to your website. It's phenomenal. And would your group be okay if the Friends of South Carolina Libraries shared that on their social media page?
I think that would be fine.
And we'll just let people know that we'll put a little note in there that if you wanted to purchase, you do have to pick up at your library.
Okay.
Okay. But it's beautifully done. Is that done by a volunteer or do you have a service?
No, the president of our Friends Board runs the site.
That is handy.
She's very talented.
Handy.
And she lives at the beach. How much better can that be?
Yeah.
Not fair. Deborah, could you give us the link again?
Okay, it is all one word, the Friends Center .square.site, SITE.
Okay.
I'm sharing the link one more time in the chat here too. And we've got a new member that's joined us just a minute ago, Elaine. Welcome. I don't know if you can hear us, but you're welcome to unmute yourself and say hello to the group. Hey, Elaine, how are you?
Hi, good. I'm sorry I'm late.
No problem at all. Elaine, what library are you representing and what is your role with that library?
I'm on the board of the Friends of the Anderson County Library.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Well, we've been talking about creative library support in a COVID-19 world, different ways that the Friends groups can stay active with their library and with their members and with the community in very interesting and creative ways. If you've got anything that you'd like to share, we'd love to hear from you. Also, we are recording this, so you're welcome to go back. We're going to have this on our website in a couple of days, and you can go back and listen to some of the things that we discussed up to this point.
Great. I really joined to listen to see what kind of ideas you all had.
Elaine, how are things going over at your library?
Well, the library's been open and active. The Friends, we only just met via Zoom last month. We've been off well, we're usually off for several months in the summer, but we had basically not met since March.
And you said you tried Zoom?
We did have a Zoom meeting in August. So we're just kind of getting started again now after all of this COVID stuff.
I think a lot of groups are trying Zoom and seeing if that's going to work for them. I know my group, I have a fun group. They like to, keep something other than a bottle of water handy, especially at some of our evening sessions.
Elaine, that's a suggestion.
That sounds very dangerous.
The Friends of Lexington, Maine started a book club called Between Friends, but my initial title for that program was going to be Friends Free for All, and which I just thought was a fun play on words. And our branch librarian, Mark Mancuso, suggested that the Free for All be the title of the After Hours event. So our book discussion be called Between Friends, and then the After Hours party would be Friends Free for All. So I thought that would.
Could we have that website address again? I didn't have a pen, so I could write it down. Could we have that one more time? The site, the Friends Square, that's it. Thank you.
I wanted to ask a sort of stupid question of Donna. When you received these notes, did you get them in the library or did you receive them at your home address?
At my home address.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know whether we would have privy to those addresses or not, but I think that makes it warmer. I really do. I like that.
Yes, I mean, I think an email, if you can't send it to an address, an email would work fine too. I think that would work really well.
Okay.
And it also helps you're staying connected. I'm feeling with our separation, working from home, we don't see anybody who we work with unless we're in a Zoom meeting. So it helps maintain the connection. That's how I feel.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Donna, I think that's a great way for Friends members to also still be volunteering in some capacity. A lot of Friends members volunteer with their local Friends group because they want to feel active, they want to feel engaged. So this would be an opportunity to have them, perhaps write personal notes to a specific staff member, maybe assign each member of your board some staff members.
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yes. That'd be great. Yes.
I think too, that's been an important, we're so focused on COVID-19 and if our branches are open and what's going on. A lot of my Friends members are part of the organization for the social aspect. So that's something to keep in mind, is that we do want to try to find a way to have social activities for our board and for our Friends members. And sometimes it doesn't always have to be about business. So maybe just hosting a Zoom social hour one Friday evening or, Sunday afternoon, where business is not discussed, where it's just catching up and being friendly and checking in with all of your friends or maybe your members. Donna?
Yes. Oh, this is what our head of HR does several times a week. Because, you know, when you work, you like to have lunch, meet in the break room and talk and everything. So like at lunchtime, she, several times a week, she'll send out a Zoom link to say, you know, I'm having a lunchtime online break for anyone on staff who wants to join. And it's informal. It's informal. You can talk about whatever you want. You can, you know, it's like if you were at work and you're just talking in the break room. So it's about an hour. And from what I understand, it's well attended. And a lot of our staff do attend it because, once again, we don't see anyone. And you know, we do have our department meetings, but we're not seeing really anyone else from the other staff. So it's a great idea to have something informal like that. Just let's just get together and talk, you know, a fun discussion.
That's a great suggestion, Donna. I wonder if Friends could host something even similar for the staff members.
Sure.
Definitely a conversation to have with your branch librarian.
Right. Yes.
Did someone else join us just now?
I think so. I think that might have been Faith. Her audio is connecting now. So once that gets. It looks like we've got a new member to the group. If you'd like to go ahead and say hello and let us know what library you represent and what your role is in that library.
Hey, sorry, Faith Line, I'm with Anderson County Library.
Hey, Faith, how are you?
I'm fine, Marlene. How about you?
I'm doing well.
Sorry, I'm late.
You are fine. We are recording this. If you'd like to go back and view it at a later date, just to hear some of the conversation and the ideas that we've shared, it will be available on the Fossil website fairly soon.
Great, thank you.
So Faith, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but representing the actual library, what are some of the ways that you think the Friends groups can be supportive of the library and its staff during this time?
Be patient with us. We're trying to figure out what we're doing too. Help it. I've asked my friends to look at just, is there a way to reimagine what we're doing? We're lucky we have a small bookstore and a small cafe, and to look at both of those and see what they can, if we need to change anything, if we need to update anything, that this is a good time to do it since they're closed. So it's, you know, anything we can do to get ready to reopen. We have people that are still doing volunteering to come in and go through the book donations. So we're getting that done. And we're just doing it one day at a time.
Patience is a great reminder.
Yep.
Being patient.
We don't know what we're doing either. I mean, honestly, this has been a big change for all of us to deal with.
Faith, I mentioned to them how wonderful it was for the staff to do a little book sale for us on a Saturday.
Yes.
We really appreciated that.
Yep, and we'll continue to do that, and then we're going to talk and see when we can present some other ideas of other ways to get you all back to do something with the bookstore.
One of the big focuses that have been on this is what can we do for the staff as a Friends board? What can we do for them to show our appreciation?
That's hard because we can't, like before, you all have always been generous in doing like our lunch at Christmas and doing other food and that kind of stuff. And we're not bringing in any kind of food in a bulk kind of situation because, you know, it's a problem. I honestly don't know. And right now, I don't know if they need, you know, mugs or shirts or whatever. We're giving them masks, so that's not even something. But I'm sure we can come up with something. Have to think about it a little bit more. Sorry.
No, you're fine, Faith. We didn't mean to put you on the spot. We've had some some ideas floating around a little bit.
Good.
I like
And we'll-
the idea about taking the opportunity because we have a little bit of downtime. The Friends of Lexington, Maine we've decided to pull a project out from our rainy day pile, which is revamping our volunteer handbook. Now, handbook is a fancy word for the 2-page document I am referring to. But it is technically, it's a guide for volunteering with the Friends, just some contact information, some general expectations, and who to report to, who to speak to, what to wear, that type of thing. So that's always something that Friends groups can be working on as side projects from home, is some of these documents that we have, volunteer applications, volunteer information, memorandums of understanding with your library. It's an opportunity. Not fancy, not creative, not too sexy, but sometimes it's good to get those rainy day projects kind of worked on during this time. So, well, Faith, we can see you now, and that's a fantastic virtual backdrop there.
Yeah.
The library in Prague. It's on my bucket list, so I'll get there.
I like it. Well, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to, does anybody else have any other thing that they like to share? Any other successes that they've been working on or they've had with their Friends groups? Any other comments, concerns? Well, we're coming up on just about an hour, and Zoom fatigue is real. I am not going to impose that on anybody. We're not going to have any Zoom fatigue today. So for those of you who have joined us a little later during the chat session, again, you are welcome to listen to this. Once we have it up on the Fossil website, we will go ahead and announce that. We will also put it out on social media, and we will also send it out in the newsletter. I am going to do a quick poll of a quick raise of hands. Please raise your hand if you are receiving Fossil newsletters, if you are receiving current Fossil newsletters. If you are not receiving current Fossil newsletters and you would like to, go ahead and put your email address in the chat, and I will make sure that your email is added to the Fossil newsletter. So I've got a couple of quick other announcements I'd like to make before I say goodbye to everybody here. We are holding 2 more of these Zoom sessions this month. The next one is going to be September 16th at 2 o'clock. The title of that is Membership Moving Forward. We're going to have a special guest, United for Libraries, the National Friends Organization, Library Friends Organization, is going to come on and speak about the statewide membership that the South Carolina State Library has purchased with United for Libraries. Under that membership, every Friends group in South Carolina has access to some fantastic benefits. So if you're interested in that, those are free benefits because the South Carolina State Library purchased that membership. Please join us on September 16th at 2 o'clock, and we're going to be speaking about that. On the 30th of September, we're going to talk about adventures in virtual programming. A lot of us are starting to have our annual events come around, and we're trying to figure out if we can hold them in person or if we're going to have to do them virtual. So we're going to have a few guests on there who are going to speak to some virtual programming they've already held, and then also some virtual programming that they are planning to hold. So please join us for that one as well. And you guys are going to be some of the first people to find out that the Friends of South Carolina Libraries was supposed to be hosting a Friends conference in April in Beaufort, South Carolina, which of course got canceled. But it's no longer canceled, it's been rescheduled. On Friday, November 6th, the Friends of South Carolina Libraries is going to host a virtual Friends conference. It will be $10 to attend. Basically, $10 will get you the links in order to join that event. We've got Dolores coming in now here, Kitty. I'm just going to go ahead and add her to the group. Hey, Dolores. So, the Friends of South Carolina Libraries is rescheduling our annual conference. It will be a virtual event. There are several speakers and members of the Friends of South Carolina Libraries that are planning to be broadcasting from Beaufort still, even though we cannot hold an in-person event. More information to follow. We're very excited about that program. It's looking to be about 10 to 3, Kitty. Is that about 9 to 3? And there will be some breaks built in there, including a time for lunch. So we're very, very excited about that. So, well, thank you everybody for joining us. We really do appreciate it. Dolores, we're sorry we're only got a minute there with you, but don't worry. This has all been recorded and we're going to go ahead and have it up on the website.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, thank you everybody for coming. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic Wednesday.
Excuse me, where's Dolores from?
Oh, I'm going to ask her to unmute real fast, Maurice.
South Congaree, and I'm sorry I had grandchildren and I just remembered it too late.
You are fine, Dolores. It's good to see you. Thank you so much. And again, I appreciate everybody coming. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you again here on the 16th.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay. Leave.